Do you have a piece of land that you're not using? A piece of land in a prime spot in your city, lying fallow without being used. Come with me, let me share with you how you can make money from that piece of land while you wait to build on it or while you wait to sell it. Hello everyone, welcome back to Flow Finance. Today, I promise you, there will be no mathematics. No, we are not going to solve any simple interest, any dividend yield today. A lot of people are beginning to get scared with all this investment thing. No. Investment is not all about calculations. Yeah. Today, we're going to talk about a real business you can make money from. Business that you can do with that piece of land that you have. Even if you don't have a piece of land, with the information I will share in this video, you can now go out and intentionally buy a piece of land that is fit for purpose. You know, when we think about buying land, a lot of people believe that the process is buy a piece of land, spend millions of naira building on it before you can make money from it. But no, that is not true. You can actually make money from an empty piece of land, as I will discuss in this video. First of all, location. The amount of money or the potential amount of money you can make from a piece of land depends on where the land is. So the first one I'm going to talk about is land that is in a very remote area. You know, the usual practice in Nigeria is people go into a very remote area, buy a piece of land, because usually at that stage it's very cheap. The land is very cheap, and then they wait for development to get there, and then they sell the piece of land, or they build on the land when development gets there, or they sell it when development gets there to make more money. So that one is land flipping. Some people are not interested in building, they just buy and sell, but while they are waiting to sell the land is lying fallow, they're not making any money from it. So if you have a piece of land that is in a very remote area, you can rent it out to farmers. When you rent your piece of land out for agriculture, you do not expect to make a lot of money from it. If it's a small piece of land, maybe one plot or two plots, just know that you can only rent it out to subsistence farmers who just cultivate what they eat. Even if they sell their produce, they don't make a lot of money from the produce. So you don't expect them to be paying you a lot of money renting your land during the planting season. But if it's a massive piece of land, like acres and acres, plots and plots of land, you can actually rent it out to a big agricultural firm who will be ready to pay you a lot more money than if it were a small piece of land. The good thing about renting your piece of land that is in a remote area to farmers is you have someone on the land quite often, more than you will be, because usually you live far away from such a place, and these farmers will double as caretakers for the land for you. So if there are any people encroaching on the land or people coming to sell off your land, you have people that are often on that piece of land to report back to you. On the other hand, you have to be careful with such people. When you rent out your piece of land to some farmers, because people see them farming on the land, they may think that they own the land, so they can so easily sell your land. So make sure you do all the paperwork when you rent out your piece of land to farmers, so that you can, you know, in case it goes to court, you can have evidence. Of course, you have the land documents, but you have, you know, the more evidence you have, the better. That's something to bear in mind. If the piece of land is on the road, but on the outskirts, maybe 1 kilometer from the city center, you can rent it out to florists, or landscape people. You know, those people that sell potted plants along the road, or if you want landscaping done, yeah, those people, you can rent out your piece of land to them, and they'll be paying you a token every year. All you need to do is build a small shed at one corner of the piece of land. You may need to sink a borehole for them, or they can source their own water for watering their plants. But yeah, you don't really need to do a lot, just a tiny shed. And whenever you want to use the land again, whether you want to sell it or you want to build on it, you can give them maybe 3 months notice, 6 months notice, and they will leave the land for you. No permanent structure on the land. If the land is on a built up residential neighborhood, you can use it as a car park. You know what happens with some landlords in Nigeria when they build residential, maybe a block of flats, they don't have enough parking space for all the tenants. Even when they have enough parking space, maybe they provided parking space for one car per flat. Some tenants may have 2 cars and they don't have anywhere to park their second car and they don't want to park on the street. If you offer such a service close by in a residential area, trust me, you're going to be like the place will be fully taken. All you need to do on the piece of land, you don't even need to make a permanent concrete floor on the piece of land. You can just pour gravel there. 2 trailers of gravel can cover 1 plot of land. And you put a gate, of course, fence and gate for security. And then you engage the services of a security company to send security personnel to take care of the place. And that's all. All the security personnel need to know is who owns which car, so that in the morning they can allow people to take their cars and then to park them in the evening. And then you can charge monthly for that. You can also include a car wash service. You know, people are very busy. They leave their homes very early. Nothing feels better than they wake up, get ready for work, come to a spanky looking car and just drive it to work. If your piece of land is in the city along the road, usually it should be along the road or not far from the road so that it's easily accessible. You can rent it out to motor mechanics, but one thing to bear in mind is that motor mechanics will destroy your land because you know they use petroleum products, they use chemicals, so they can pour it on the piece of land. That's one of the downsides. Once you've rented your piece of land out to motor mechanics, you can't use that piece of land for agriculture. Also remember that some mechanics may need to have a pit, you know, where you park your car and they go underneath to check the under of your car. So if they build that, of course you can remove it, but that's something to bear in mind. You know, it's a kind of permanent structure that you need to take out if you want to use the land for something else in the future. And then my favorite one, if your piece of land is in a prime location within the city or very close to the city, you can actually rent it out as an event place. Yeah, this is the most lucrative one. You stand a chance to make a lot of money from this one. You know, in Nigeria, no matter how bad the country is, no matter how hard things are, Nigerians must party. There's a wedding every weekend. And if the land is in Lagos, I don't know about other places, but in Lagos, some people wed on Thursdays. So on one weekend, you might rent out your place on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yes, on one weekend. But minimum once every weekend. That's 4 times in a month. You're making bank. There are so many different ways you can make money from an events place. Yeah, because the events holds during the weekend, but during the week you can use it for other things. In fact, I need to make a separate video about using a piece of land as an events place. If you want to see that video, you know what to do. Click the like button to ginger my swagger. This is the most lucrative of them all. Your place will be booked for months ahead of time. People will be falling over themselves to book the place. You never ever go empty-handed when it comes to using a place as an events place. I'm telling you. In fact, this is the most lucrative way you can use a piece of land. No troubles from the tenant, no tenant wahala. Again, if the land is along the road, you can rent it out to welders, people that build gates. If you've seen any of my road trip videos that I do on my other channel, you must have seen people that sell gates on either side of the road. If you're able to rent out your piece of land to welders, you don't need to build any permanent structure. All you need is a shack at one end where they'll be keeping their tools. That's it. And whenever you need your piece of land, nothing permanent to remove. You can rent your piece of land out to car wash people. For car wash, you will need to sink a borehole on the piece of land because, you know, car wash, water, the main thing they need is water. So you need to provide water for them. That water, you can also sell it to water tankers. You know, these tankers, people that go and buy water and go to homes and sell to people that don't have a borehole in their compound. So all you need to do for that one, of course, sink the borehole, and then you build that big pipe, overhead pipe, that will be able to dump water into the tanks. They just drive close to that place and you put it out. With that, you'll be making money from selling water and you'll be making money from renting out your piece of land to a car wash person. All the ones I've discussed so far, you can actually do it from anywhere in the world. Even if you're outside Nigeria, all you need is a bank account in Nigeria where the person will be paying in the money, and then you get an estate manager. This estate manager doesn't have a lot to do because usually it's just one tenant. And it's not like they're going to be fixing anything for the tenant. In fact, the service this estate manager provides for you is not enough for you to be paying the person monthly. you may just agree with the person, okay, whenever I need you to go there, you can discuss, okay, how much will I pay you to cover your transport and your time to go there and speak with this person. That said, for this one I'm going to talk about now, you need someone to be able to go there every single day. So if your piece of land is very close to a market, you can rent it out to farmers. You know, these farmers that bring their produce every single day to the market. Usually they have a dumping ground for the produce. They have a place where they go dump their produce so that the people that will resell inside the market will come there and buy from them. So this usually happens very early in the morning. In fact, when you use your piece of land for this kind of thing, you can use it for another thing, because latest by 8 a.m. they are gone. So while you're doing another thing, maybe another thing that starts by 9 a.m. on that piece of land, you can still use it as a place where you can be renting out your piece of land to farmers. I mean, you don't expect to get a lot of money from farmers coming to sell their produce early in the morning, but people make a lot of money, make a living from this. Again, if your piece of land is very close to the market, you can build stalls, you know, temporal stalls in it, and rent it out to only people that sell specific things. For instance, you can decide, okay, I want only those that sell fruits and vegetables, or just fruits. I'm only renting out my stalls so that when people are coming to that space, they're coming to buy fruits, or when people are coming there, they're coming to buy vegetables, something like that. People do that so that that place will be popular. The people that you're renting out to will be selling things a lot so that they'll be able to pay you. For this one, again, you need someone to be going there every single day, because these market sellers, they prefer to pay every single day than for you to charge them monthly. For instance, if you tell them to pay 500 naira a day, they'll be happy to pay that. But if you tell them to pay, say, okay, 500 multiplied by 28, that's 14,000 naira. Let's just remove Sundays. So if you tell them to pay 14,000 naira every month, for instance, I'm just giving an example, you need to do a market survey for the rent that is obtainable where your land is. So if you tell them to pay 14,000 naira every month, it will sound like a huge amount of money to them. Also, some of them will consider some days I will not come to the market, so this 14,000 a month is not worth it. So they prefer to pay every single day, so that any day they don't come to the market, they're not spending any money on renting any space to sell their wares. So you need someone to actually go there every single day to collect this money. Another way you can rent out your piece of land is to rent it out to hairdressers. This is just like having people that sell the same kind of things to sell on your piece of land. You can rent out your piece of land to people that provide the same kind of service. For instance, people that make this kind of hair, braids, all of them there will be braiding hair. Again, you need someone to go there every day to collect this money, because like I said, they don't like paying monthly or yearly. Oh no. And then if your piece of land is very close to the city center, by city center I mean, let me give you an example with my husband's hometown. In my husband's hometown, they have a roundabout, which is the one city center. That is where their market is, the what market is, that is where the motor parks are. So if your piece of land is very close to this kind of city center, this kind of roundabout, you can rent it out for a lot of money to transport companies. These transport companies are privately owned, so they usually don't stay in the general motor park, but they need somewhere that is close to the general motor park. So that's about 11 ways you can make money from your piece of land while you're waiting to build on it. Or you can just do this, decide to use that piece of land for this forever and ever without building on it, because building is expensive. You may even spend all that money building it and you will not even be making enough money from that piece of land than if you had used it as an event place. So yeah, this is a very good way to earn money from your piece of land while you wait to build on it. If you enjoyed the video and if I gave you great ideas on how you can put that piece of land to great use, click the like button and subscribe if you haven't. If that subscribe button still looks red to you, it means that you have not subscribed. Yeah. See you in the next video.